I used to think the goal in life was to impress people. Like, be smart, be accomplished, be disciplined, and be exceptional. Even if I didn't necessarily say that my goal was to impress people, that's what I was doing. And honestly, I was pretty good at it. I was top of my class in statistics in the UK. I had a first class honors degree. Early on in my career, I worked with brands like Amazon Devices and Rolls Royce. I was speaking publicly, I was building things, I was posting consistently. I was waking up at 4 a.m. pretty much every day, but I never really felt secure. And weirdly, the opportunities that actually changed my life didn't come from me trying to impress people. They came from relationships where I actually cared more about what the other person was saying versus what I had to say to them. I got my first real job because a mentor knew me and recommended me for a job that I'd already applied for. And I got another opportunity because this lady I was going to yoga with, I wrote a thoughtful blog post to every single one of her blogs for like a week. I wasn't trying to manipulate anyone. I wasn't networking in a fake way. I was just showing up consistently, being curious, adding value, and building trust over time. And honestly, I think this is something that a lot of ambitious women misunderstand, especially in the beginning. Actually, ambitious people in general. We think safety comes from our achievements alone. Like if we become successful enough or smart enough or productive enough that everything will work out. But relationships are what actually open doors for me. Not just talent, not just competence, and not just grinding myself into the ground. It was real relationships where I also had where I started and where I ended. I found that some of the worst relationships that I've had are where I gave up parts of myself in order to fit into this person's vision, even if it really went against what I wanted and not necessarily ethically, but I could just feel in my gut that this was not where I wanted to be going. How even though I had the grades, that wasn't what got me to the life I have now, which is I make 12K a month, I own my own business, I feel like I don't kill myself over everything. I feel like opportunities are coming to me. And it was a really hard time to get here. Like it was 2 years of where things were really difficult and where I made a lot of mistakes because I didn't have the proper confidence in myself yet. Part of that is a skills deficit. Part of that is not having the skills to know where I should cut things off as well. Now I feel like I have a lot more clients under my belt, a lot more credibility. And so that's why I'm here talking to you today, because I want to pass on some of the knowledge that I had to go through in order to become the person that I am today and hopefully help you avoid even one of the mistakes that I made. So before we get into this, I just want to mention I'm dropping a new course soon. Don't worry, it's free. Pretty much everything on my website, which you'll find in my description, is free. It's at laurami.marketing. But I really want to give back to a younger version of me. I seriously probably spent $30,000, maybe more, in lessons and coaching, probably like 50K when you talk about the amount of debt I went into over a bad business decision, and probably closer to 100 when you talk about unpaid fees over me not having good boundaries, which is why I'm making these videos for you guys, because I really want you, if you're at the beginning of your business journey or at the beginning of your career in general, I want you to take some of the lessons that I had to learn the hard way. Um, when I first started in my business, I really thought that if I just worked really hard and I did all the right things, that would get me the results that I needed. And while that's true, doing the right things doesn't stop you from doing the wrong things. And so I would do things like get up at 4 a.m. every day, go to the gym twice a day. I was like 55 pounds heavier than I am right now. Like I got really thin during COVID, like problems, and then I went into eating disorder therapy and my weight really rebounded, right? And it took a few years for that to come off, and I was still doing all these things, just trying so hard to stay thin. Like my weight fluctuated since I was 13, and I say that to say like I was like this in every area of my life, where I would try so hard that I wouldn't be able to get the thing, or if I got it, I wouldn't be able to maintain it for very long because it wasn't sustainable. Um, like I said, I weigh 55 pounds less now. I really don't watch what I eat a whole lot. I kind of just eat according to my body. I don't wake up at 4 a.m. I think part of the reason why I woke up at 4 a.m. so often was because my body was so stressed out and I had so much cortisol built up. But what I mean to say when I say doing the things that sound right don't necessarily keep you from doing things wrong is because even though I did the right things, like working out twice a day, or like calorie counting, like I know that that's kind of controversial, but I think in some instances it is healthy. Like, it didn't stop me from binge eating, and waking up at 4 a.m. didn't like keep me from crashing at like 3 p.m. every day, or from being overtired and making poor decisions, or being not as emotionally regulated as I needed to be for the circumstance that I was in that day. So all these things, trying to prove myself, trying to work so hard in order to achieve my goals. Of course, it's good to work hard. Of course, it's good to reach your goals. But if you're watching this video, the chances that you are someone who is underperforming are so, so low. That's one thing that I can be sure about. Like, losers don't watch videos like this. that sounded like bro talk, but like, it's serious. Like, losers don't watch videos like this. They just don't. The people who watch videos and educational content, they want to learn more, they want to get better. So even if you're someone who hasn't done yet, the very fact that you're taking action to watch these things and try to get better really shows me that you are someone who you are going to make it, even if you haven't seen the fruits of it yet. So that's to say, I was way overperforming, but then what kind of like changed my life was the amount of opportunities that I started getting, not from the overworking itself, although it is good to have a reputation of being a hard worker, but the opportunities that changed my life came through the relationships that I had with people. And I really have time and time again found that good relationships didn't come from me shoving down everything about me and how great I was and all this stuff down people's throats. It was me caring about them, listening to their problems. If their kid had something, I'd give their kid like money, or like a graduation gift, like, or a birthday gift, or I'd give them a birthday gift, like normal friend stuff, and not in a manipulative way. I was like, oh, I like this person. This person's cool. Or for me, I was like, this is the standard of how I want to act. I want to be polite. I want to be the person who remembers birthdays, who cares about people's kids. And that has seriously set me apart. Like, I think that I could be at least 40% worse at my job, still have a good reputation, still have a good business, because I'm genuinely interested in other people. But I would say that I probably wouldn't be as successful as I'm going to be if I had that attitude, because something I know that people really appreciate me when they actually do walk in the door is that I do what I say I'm going to do, and I care about their stuff as much as they do, if not more. Like, it really freaks me out whenever anything isn't performing well. I really don't like it, so I really care about my work, but not in the same way that I used to, where everything felt like life or death and like this crushing pressure that I was never going to be good enough, because I don't overperform. Like, I save so much more energy for myself in every area of my life, because I recognized how much better it was for everyone if I saved life force for myself, instead of being that rat in the corner who was like overworked, exhausted, complaining, which would happen because it happens to a lot of high performers where you get burnout. So if you've been at that burnout place, they talk about work-life balance. I think there are seasons where I've been able to push hard and not get burned out. That's because I don't keep on doing it. The times where I got burned out, I was like working way too hard for way too long, completely ignoring my body, completely neglecting my health. You can work long days and not neglect your health. So what I want to say, the shift after that realization of relationships, I stopped performing. I stopped forcing things so hard. This is still something that I struggle with, like trying to force things, because obviously we can't act things into existence, but it's more about us being consistent and being reliable than it is trying to force something into, like, what is it? A square peg into a round hole, right? I stopped trying to sound important, and instead, quietly, I improved my skills. Quietly, I got the numbers. Quietly, I hit like 6 million views on TikTok. Quietly, I hit 5 million views on TikTok. Quietly, I hit I got a New York Times bestselling author as a client. Quietly, I was meeting this person and this person and this person, doing this work for free and this work for free and this work for free. I focused so much on giving more than I was getting, while also having boundaries at the same time, while knowing like how much rest I actually needed, what I actually needed to do for my health. And I started to become a lot more consistent. There is a huge element of trust, I'll say, in this process, where you have to trust God or the universe or creator, whatever you believe in. I'm Christian, but I understand that not everyone is. But trusting God has been hugely instrumental in my personal journey, and being and listening to that feeling that I have when something is out of alignment or something is just not right, being okay to walk away from more things, to say no to more things. I think there's a season where I said yes to everything, and now I'm in the season where I am a lot more discerning. I think both are pivotal to the journey because there are some things that you do need to experiment with for yourself. But I wish that when I was overperforming and saying yes to everything, that I had set more limits on how much I was willing to try and for how long up front with those things. So I want to also tie in, I think I was trying to, like, why we do this behavior, because I think I was trying to achieve safety through achievement, right? Like, I thought that if I just worked hard that everything would be okay, but I didn't really have trust in the universe. Like, I was trying to, or trust in God, I was trying to control everything. I think a lot of women are exhausted because we are trying to earn safety through achievement or validation through achievement. We're trying to fill something that only God can fill through work, right? Or through overperforming, or through whatever it is that you're doing that isn't completely healthy. And at the end of the day, that's manipulation. And pretty much it can be felt. Like, energy is so real, energy can be felt. So bottom line, the older I get, the less I care about being impressive and the more I care about being aligned. And what do I mean by aligned? It's knowing what I can't handle, knowing what's not for me, right? And that's something you can only really learn through experience. But I hope that this gives you a good start of where the lines might be for you. Like, I know I have some other videos where I talk about how long to do free work and that sort of thing. So that's all going to be in my course. Like I said, it's going to be down in the description. And yeah, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you on Saturday.